I don't know a lot about LA or the infrastructure of it, but I don't know where there's both a forest, a bog, cows. You know what? I don't know a lot about LA. Let's just put it that way.
I think it's pretty safe to say that LA has changed a lot in the decades since 1987 when
Gotcha.
this
That's
movie was
right,
filmed.
Rick. It doesn't
Uh,
seem to be like Sheryl Crow's LA.
is that a music reference?
You know
I
what? It's
think
not as
so.
funny. It's not as funny the second time you said it too.
Wait. We're doing this. This is the second time we did this?
No, we did not record the first time.
This is all off the cuff. Not scripted at all.
I am super excited. Rick, I think you are excited to talk about music in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be pigeonholed into some sort of, square receptacle made out of some sort of pliable material, but we will definitely get into that in the main episode.
I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing all about Gwildor's big hit, Living in a Bog.
Well, clear out your gill slits and let's get started.
All right.
I just do a boss nass.
Me so like that.
By the power of Grayskull.
Lisa like this movie. This movie is a little bit voodoo.
Just a little bit.
It's that good kind of voodoo. Welcome, broads and
Hey.
bastards. Not you, Robin. I'm not. You're
I'm
already
not
on.
welcome here.
Okay, let me start again. Welcome, broads and bastards, to the cut two of Masters of the Universe with the Sword Boys. I'm here with the Sword Boys, and now Robin, hello.
Hi, I'm here as well. Wait, I am one of the Sword Boys, and I am here.
Excellent.
And I'm Rick.
And I'm Rick. And I'm Jonathan. I don't even think I said that. So I'm Jonathan.
No.
Welcome to Sword Boys, Masters of the Universe. We're talking about it. Rick's going to tell you a time code.
That's
Stuff.
right. This is cut 2. We are beginning at 17 minutes, 33 seconds and going until 35 minutes, 1 second, beginning with some light racism from Teela and ending with He-Man stalking Skeletor's mercenaries in a junkyard.
Now, cut one. A lot of Eternia, super fun. This one is wall to wall LA. Or maybe not LA. Is it? Okay, I know they shot it in LA. Are they supposed to be somewhere else? Do we? Because later on, Courtney Cox works at this shit kicker ribs and chicken joint, and
Right.
and they're driving pickup trucks. It just doesn't feel like. And they talk about going to Jersey, so I don't know if we're actually in LA. I know the movie was shot there, but I don't know if we're in LA.
Once
They
we
do say
get
they're in
to
California.
Do they?
once
Do
we
they say
get to
that?
the satellite zoom in feature from
Oh, yes.
Skeletor's,
Google Earth.
Google Earth app, it
Google
zooms in
Eternia.
on LA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that sexy Skeletor gets to come back for yet another episode. I missed him since last episode. So
I was worried that we'd go a whole cut without him, but I will get to him eventually.
yes.
But yeah.
What is it? So we start in the bog that we ended in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
the
can't see the
first thing
forest
we
for the
hear
bog.
is Teela walking over and be like, "Oh, trust a Thenurian to land in a soft place." And I'm like, "Is
She's
that
so angry.
I hope that's a sick burn. I hope
there are
that's like
so many little racist things for Eternian species that I just have no experience with. All Thenurians, they're a bunch of soft boys. If you're a werbat, that's an insult. And apparently a Torktum is a dumb creature that doesn't even bother to program their cosmic keys with the home coordinates.
What a moron.
Just
and then Dolph Lundgren grumbles something. Thank God. Luckily, Rick has given us clips of this with subtitles.
Mhm.
It really helps with this movie. Also, there's a lot of jibber jabber going on, how long do they have before they have to get back to Eternia? I think Man at Arms says it. It's like 0.84
Pounds or something.
hectonex or something. It's something.
Yeah.
Some bullshit. We get to see a lot of tech though. This is there's no tech of the app for this show, but I was happy to see a lot of tech in this and a lot of swords. Now, in this, we get a lot of swords. We get a guy named Blade. We get people. Blade uses his swords.
He
which is
doesn't disappoint.
but he also doesn't use his swords against anybody yet. So this movie still technically not a sword movie.
Darn it.
We're not there yet, but I see a lot of swords.
Yeah.
He-Man has a sword. We finally get to really see Man-at-Arms back, which doesn't sound that interesting, but he has lots of stuff on.
Finally. Yeah.
Finally, he is a Man-at-Arms. He has many an armament on his backs. So very excited. And this is in that beautiful LA light. So you can really see the dulcet grays that they're all wearing, which is just like the cartoon that we love. So super happy again. I'm going to shit on the uniforms. He-Man's is fine. I can live with that one.
Yeah.
But Man-at-Arms
like a
and
superhero
Teela
standing next to them.
are the worst.
Yeah, for
they're
being supposedly
grays.
based on the action figures, like they really did nothing with the color scheme.
And I even thought when I saw this again, not only going to see Man-at-Arms back, you get to see Teela's the back of her head. So we can see that cool. She's wearing, it looks like a headband, but when you see the back of it, it's actually this really ornate, almost tiara, cool shape. Problem is it's laying flat. And I thought, oh, maybe they did Teela's, in the cartoon, she wears like a little crown.
It's like
Like
a
a-
updo.
Yeah, she wears a little crown thing. And I was like, oh, maybe they did that as kind of a nod. Nope, it looks nothing like it. If anything, it looks like something from Stargate. So
Well, all the cool
Christ.
kids, they don't wear the tiaras like forwards, they wear them backwards on the back of their heads. This is 1987 after all.
just like Man-at-Arms, cool guys don't put down their visor. They keep their visor always flipped up on their helmet.
Yeah. You don't want to like break the how like all helmets come with the visor up, and as soon as you put them down, it starts breaking the cardboard in the brim or something like that. I'm not into helmet culture, so I don't know the specific ins and outs of collecting helmets. I know that he didn't take the tags off, so he's got that going for him.
So I just wanted to get into the beginning where we did talk about gill slits, and he was really nervous about suffocating in the mud. But I'm wondering if Thenurians are amphibious. Like if they landed in water, would he have been able to pull them all out of there? He's an excellent swimmer, very buoyant.
If he has gill slits, why does he have a nose? Is he like Is he like Aquaman?
I guess. I mean, kind of
Does
looks like
Aquaman
Jason
have-
Momoa in
Yeah,
a
he
weird
kind of has
way.
that. It does. He has that kind of feral hair that I was expecting.
Yeah.
But Gwildor, they throw a lot at us in this first minute and a half, and then they just decide, oh, we don't know where the key is. We're going to, and they talk so weird in this movie. It's great. They're like, let's fan out, go check everyone to their own sector. It's like, what are you talking about? Just it's around here somewhere.
I do love the look of dismay on Gwildor's Muppet face when he looks over at the grappling hook and it's completely empty, as if it's not painfully obvious that it's not there.
Whoops. Yeah.
So it's knowing the entire cut of this movie, are they just on the other side of the cemetery? It's just like on the other side of that rock face, there's a cemetery.
That would be quite poetic if it's literally just a stone's throw.
Because the thing didn't, the portal didn't, the space butthole didn't open far enough away that it could have gone anywhere else, but in the vicinity. But
the key lands so hard it makes a crater. So it's almost good that they landed in a bunch of mud, I guess.
Well, Teela finds out it's mud because she not only smells it, she rolls it around in her hand. You know what? I don't need to touch it. I know it's mud. I don't have to. I don't need to test it. I wish she tasted it. That would have been better. But that's mud.
We should be glad it was only mud because there is a cow wandering around.
That's true. What is this mud? This mud has a weird odor to it.
And a weird taste.
Not unpleasant.
It's what Vermonters call cow pies. It is weird thinking about the geography of this whole thing because they land in this marsh. They walk a little distance, and three of them all walk to the same place. Meanwhile, He-Man's walking to the suburbs. Meanwhile, Kevin and Julie they get in the car and they drive to the cemetery.
Right.
So it seems like it's driving distance away, unless it's around the block.
Well, they didn't drive. They didn't drive from this forest. They drove from Roddy's or
Yeah,
whatever
but I'm
his name
saying,
is.
but our heroes, or three of them, walk from the forest to the rib place,
Mhm.
and
And
so
then walk, and they continue walking. Yeah,
yeah,
it's very close. Well, you know what? I do know that Courtney Cox adds, we can get to her character here in a second, but I know that she does ask to be taken there. Maybe he wasn't planning. Maybe he was like, oh, we could just walk. They just left that out. Why are we even in the car? Oh, you want to
Yeah.
go see your parents' grave? Oh, Robby's.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Robby's. I called it something else, Roddy's or something.
Listen, LA has a car culture, always has had a car culture,
Sure.
except for all of the times where it had like a streetcar culture, but that's, back in the 30s. So, of
Yep.
course, of course, Kevin, not Robby. Robby is the restaurant. But of course, Kevin would drive.
Robby's not the human. Robby is a anthropomorphic cow chicken
or a robot.
cowboy. I think we found our new saying, guys. For instead of we say clang clang at the end and are all for one, but we have to say good journey from now on. Good journey. And with a little
good journey. Tap with
journey.
2 fingers on the shoulders and hold them up like this. Is that what that's all about?
It's more of a good journey. It's like it's a kind of a Cub Scout,
Well, when you're trying to renominalize the coordinates, you got to know which way the wind blows. So you're licking your fingers and holding them up. Good journey. Yes.
I like to call that 2 in the pink. Oh, come on, Skeletor. You can't say stuff like that. That's gross. We're way too early into this episode for you to even come in with this stuff.
Okay.
No kink shaming. All right.
That first thing you said, I thought, is he doing a Gwildor voice? No, that was your Skeletor.
Sexy Skeletor's got to get back in here.
Sexy Skeletor. I'm sexy Skeletor, and I kind of do sound like Gwildor. Here, if I do the eye, I'm doing Gwildor. How's that? It's so weird that they put him in so much gunk makeup, which is hilarious, but they didn't fix his fucked up eye. I kind of wanted his eye to be like, you can make 2 normal eyes when you're basically giving them a face. And they're like, no, Billy Barty's eyes stay in this movie. He's weird because it's only when he walks. When he's standing there with the cow and talking to it and says moo to it, both of his eyes are open. But when he walks, he's like, and his eye scrunches up. So I'm always like, okay, sure.
Moo.
It'd be like if Harrison Ford put on a bunch of makeup and somehow they didn't cover up the scar on his chin. Like the whole reason you put him into some sort of prosthetic. Will the Red Hulk have the scar? I don't know. We'll find out in a future date.
Yeah. So yeah, there are I took several notes at the beginning of this whole thing. I found that Werbat is not a word, but it looks like warbat, which is like baklava stuffed with clotted cream. It sounds delicious. It's Middle Eastern.
Wait, it's a food? It's not a Eternian creature?
Well, warbat is, but I googled it and I only found warbat. Anyway, whatever.
What kind of food is it?
It's like a baklava, but it's Middle Eastern.
Like a baklava?
Well, I thought that
like a balaclava.
like the thing. No, balaclava is what you pull over your face when you need to rob a store.
Yes.
A baklava is a dessert.
All right, and sometimes when I have too many tacos, I have baklava as well. So
gross. No one wants to hear about your baklava.
Teela, in her anger, she's like, "How can he get us home if we don't know where we are?" And if I don't know where I am, I still know where home is. I just don't know where I am. So if the cosmic key is like Apple Maps, you can still pop the address into Eternia and it'll take you to Eternia from wherever you are. So that was a thing. And then they have tricorders. They have where they say by the sorceress, it's ugly. I wanted to mention this last cut. Is the sorceress like their deity?
I guess so.
Just like a kindly
Closest thing, I bet.
Maybe she's the Pope and Grayskull is the church and the sword is Jeebus.
All right. So when we're talking about Grayskull, here's the church and here's the steeple.
Right.
You open the doors and Skeletor has invaded with his army.
Yes. Look at all the fingers inside. That's what I like to say.
How sexy Skeletor.
How about the fact that He-Man proposes this plan is like, yeah, and we'll just teleport into the middle of a throne room and take on 1,000 troops. And Man-at-Arms is like, that sounds like a really dumb plan. And He-Man's like, yes.
Well, he's not
Just-
Plan Man.
Yeah.
That's a different guy. That's a different character with a very specific superpower.
He's sold separately.
Yes.
I never got Plan Man.
Oh, Plan Man was great.
And then finally, synchronize their personal locators. So they all have locators. And again, I'm back to phones. So it's like now we're going to share our location with each other.
It's 1987. They are finding their friend. It's beautiful.
And I like that He-Man says this specifically, like we're going to synchronize our personal locators now. And like we have to synchronize them now. We're not always following each other. Like He-Man loves to live off the grid. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the soldiers are all together.
He-Man likes to have his locator in dark mode, in incognito. He doesn't like people knowing what's going on and what his walk history is. So yeah, they synchronize and then say good journey.
Right.
Good journey.
And the last thing I had here was that Man-at-Arms at one point says He-Man, but it sounds like he's like being really casual with him. He's just like, hey man, like I show at 0.84 crore mons until
Yes.
moonrise. What?
Hormones. That's what the bullshit word was.
Hey man.
Hey man. Hey man. Whoa. Master
And that-
of the key man.
Would you like to go get some ribs and chicken now? I'm sorry I held this back.
How good does this place look? Robby's Ribs and Chicken.
Okay, let's put it this way. I love
Food to go.
I love a lot of things. Ribs. I love chicken. I love a place with a couple of video games over in the corner.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
a Miss Pac-Man, and I can't tell if it's Galaga, but it's so quick. But oh man, these prices back when coffee was 45 cents, in 87 coffee was 45 cents. Those were the days.
I
But,
just
yeah.
love the sound. Like this place has everything. They got jumbo shrimp, malts, chili dogs, fries, hot dogs.
How fresh do you think
shakes.
those shrimp are? Do you think they get them from the ocean?
Oh, see, I have a rule about not eating seafood too far from the coast.
Sure.
And the fact that we're still in LA gives me a little bit of confidence in
That could
their
be shrimp from the
seafood.
LA River, though. You don't know.
Hope not.
You would think that if somebody saw a sign that said chili dogs, would he then infer that they also sell hot dogs, or does that need to be specifically pointed out? Like, oh, they have hot dogs too. I will say this about the location. Did anybody find out about the location like I did?
No.
Oh, you talking about interviews with William Stout, the
Mhm.
production lead? Oh, I'll let you get into this one.
Apparently, this location was transformed from a closed down fast food stand in Lakewood Terrace. And according to production designer Bill Stout, this place is exactly where the Rodney King beating happened.
Okay.
So just like a few years later,
Yep.
it's
So-
quite a different scene.
So 1987, you got Billy Barty in a crazy Muppet costume, macking on some chicken in some bushes, and then just a short 4 years later, there's the inciting incident for the 1992 LA riots.
Oh my God. Great.
Ugh.
What an interesting tapestry you're painting with these wonderful facts you're finding out. Are you next?
yeah.
You're going to tell me that Julie's best friend is really some horrible person?
No, I don't know much about her, but she sure looks like Linda Hamilton in the
I
first
was going to
Terminator.
say, yep. I was like, why is she Linda Hamilton here? I really love because it's like she serves somebody for like the last time, and they say thank you, ma'am, and I want to be like, okay, she's 6. Courtney Cox in this is 18, 19 years old.
Mhm.
How old is she really in real life at this point? She's 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's a child.
Yeah.
And it's pretty great. She is, we don't need to go into the lineage of Courtney Cox. She's fantastic. Everybody
Oh,
remembers
come
her.
on. That's
Come
my
on.
bread and butter. That's my bread and
What
butter.
are you going to do? You're going to talk about she was on Friends and then the Springsteen thing. And then
Did you know that she was on
Misfits of
Friends?
Science? Yes. And she did Misfits of Science.
Yeah, that is. I'm just saying, Misfits of Science, and right here in this movie, this is peak Courtney Cox to me. The freckles, the cuteness, the shorter hair, the dancing in the dark. Apparently, she got paid $350 for dancing in the dark. By the way, where Bruce Springsteen pulls her on stage. To those who don't know, and this
fair
dance that
amount.
they do, apparently inspired the Carlton. And I didn't even think about that until I read that. And I was like, hey, that is the Carlton. You know?
Oh,
It is the Carlton. Yeah.
didn't even realize.
Yeah. She got paid $50,000 for this movie. She went on from there to be in Cocoon 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then a recurring role on Family Ties is like one of Alex's last girlfriends. This is post Tracy. And then in 94, yeah, Ace Ventura, guest spot on Seinfeld. She does Friends. That's where she's being eventually paid $1 million an episode or more. And then in 96, it's Scream. The only other fun facts I have about Courtney Cox, she was the first person to ever say period on American television in a Tampax commercial. I mean, I'm sure people said it in other ways, and her mom, her friend here at the stand, her name is Monica. Her mom on Friends, where she plays the character of Monica, was played by Christina Pickles, who was the sorceress.
The sorceress, yeah.
So yeah, that's my Cox facts.
My God, so many cocks. So many cocks. Horny Skeletor is here for the cocks, so he's super excited.
Fun thing about Robby's Ribs and Chicken is it's the kind of place that's never been held up because every single waitress is packing heat. One gun on each hip.
Yep.
Oh, really?
This place reminds me a lot of anybody out there who went to the MXM that was in Philly will remember the chicken place that we bought our chicken from. And this is basically it, except the guy behind the counter was not as happy as Courtney Cox was to serve us in any way.
Well, that's because clearly Robby's is not a front for some sort of criminal organization.
Oh, 100%.
They're a legitimate restaurant.
Yes. And they serve ribs and chicken in buckets. I like that they come together. I've never actually been to a place where they'll put individually cut ribs and fried chicken in a bucket. I kind of like that. I would eat that. I would eat the shit out of that. Let's put it that way.
What do you think California or LA ribs and chicken are like? You know, like
probably pretty good.
Okay.
I bet they have a good, I mean, I assume this is, I mean, not from the people who are working there or clientele, but I feel like it's a very soul food kind of thing, like a kind of I moved here and I'm bringing with me the South. Oh, and I want to have, I want to have ribs and chicken in a town that doesn't have ribs and chicken.
LA is the kind of town where people just move there. So obviously there's someone from Texas or Louisiana or maybe it might be Carolina barbecue. Not quite sure. But like,
we don't know what kind of sauce.
To LA.
We don't know what kind of sauce he drinks.
Right.
As a shot. If we need to know if it's a sweet sauce or if it's more of a thick sauce or is it more of a rub?
It's kind of like a lighter red sauce as opposed to like a deeper dark sauce. I feel like that's more like probably like a vinegar based Carolina sauce as opposed to the brown sugar type. What's the other one? Is it you got Carolina barbecue and then you got
there's St. Louis. There's lots of different
St. Louis barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. I think St. Louis is the brown sugar one. Carolina's the vinegar one. Don't quote me on that. I have not done my research. I haven't done my due diligence there.
You're not a sauce boy.
Good point.
Is it too early to change our format?
I mean, no.
Too late?
We only have movies that have sauces in them. That would actually go over pretty
we have
well.
just got to try the sauce as we're talking about the sauce in the movie.
We can't. You ate in the last episode. We can't do that again. You cannot. Okay. In the last episode, you ate a Three Musketeer bar. What will you bring to the table to eat at the end of Masters of the Universe? What food is it? Ribs and chicken? I mean, what?
Gosh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Robin, I swear to the sorceress, if you show up with a bucket of ribs and chicken, I might have to hop in my car and drive all the way to your house just to get me some of that because I would be so jealous.
Yeah, I think I already called it. I think I'm gonna have to make my own war bat.
So anyway, there's chicken and ribs. Great.
Yep.
She's leaving. She's moving to Jersey. Not even New York. She's moving to Jersey.
Yeah. So she's moving to Jersey because she wants to be close to family. She's got that grandmother who has the rent controlled apartment on Manhattan. So she's going to move to Jersey close by. And then the grandmother's be like, oh, why don't you come live with me on the island? And then she's going to take over that rent controlled apartment, live with her friend Rachel across the street from Joey and Chandler, and they're all going to be close acquaintances.
They don't even bring up Ross in this movie. It's bullshit. They don't even bring up the brother.
That's true. Nobody talks to him. Yeah, she's got kind of a Lana Lang backstory here. Her parents are killed, and she's now orphaned and working. And now she's going to, as a high schooler, decide that she's going to move across the country.
Well, she's not graduated. She's not going to go to graduate. She's graduated. You don't have to actually go to graduation to have graduated high school.
Mhm.
She says later, I'm not going to be at graduation. Fine.
Right. Yeah.
But she's graduated from high school. She's leaving, and then we find out she goes to the car. It goes to a really shitty van.
Hey, that is a 1971 Dodge Tradesman. Thank you very much.
Someone's going to have to go on the internet vehicle database and tell us all the banged up shit cars that are in this scene. It's a different podcast, but we need to know all the cars in this episode. But and we meet the boyfriend, Robert Duncan McNeil. That's his name in the movie. Robert Duncan McNeil.
Well, it might
but
as well
everybody
be
calls him
because
Kevin.
his name is Kevin Corrigan, who is also an actor.
Yes,
I know him mostly from Fringe, but he's in everything.
Yeah. So he is quintessential 87. He's wearing the leather jacket, the full button up shirt with a tie. He's in a band. You can tell before they even get to the band thing, he's totally in a band. And he's like, "Hey, you gonna be able to come to my sound check?" She's like, "Yeah, let's go see my parents first at the grave." And you hear him go, "Okay." Like he's like, okay, because obviously they've made some pact. Julie's girlfriend I keep calling it Roddy's in Rudy's or Roddy's or what is it called? Robby's. I don't know why I can't remember Robby's. Anyway, in Robby's, her whole point is don't leave your boyfriend. Like he's the best. Whatever.
You love each other.
Yeah.
But
he's in a band already in LA. He's in a prime spot to get discovered. All he's got to do is make sure all of his equipment doesn't get burned.
Yeah. And so he obviously they made some pact about leaving. She's leaving, so they're going to break up.
Like she's taking an 8:30 bus to the airport.
Ugh.
Like
so how far
she's gonna
away
miss
from
that bus.
LAX does she live? How far away? The logistics of this. I mean, we all know LA traffic's the worst.
When's her flight, you think?
I would say it's probably like a 3 a.m. flight. So she wants to get there like 3 hours early. So she's there at like midnight. She's taking an 8:30 bus to sit in 4 hours of traffic.
And this is 1987 planes, which are slower than now planes. So it's like a 6-hour flight, 8-hour flight from LA to Jersey. Oh.
Well, when she goes through the metal detectors with that jacket on with 1 million buttons on it, there are so many buttons on that jacket.
I'm sorry, Robin, what? It's 1987.
Yeah, the what detectors in 1987?
I mean, there might have been
the
some
metal
light,
detectors.
They probably had them. They just
did they have the wands at least?
No, they had visual pat downs.
Also,
you got nothing that looks like a bomb. Get on there.
You walk by and it beeps, and you hold it up and go, "It's my buttons," and they go, "Okay."
That's true.
And then you go over to the check bag thing and you collect up all your guns and ammunitions and get on your flight.
They need to add some steaks, so we're going to go to the cemetery and see her
chicken,
dead parent.
We have ribs, and now we have steaks.
And Julie's seriousness of this conversation is really clashing with the soundtrack as they're listening to the radio.
What's the bopping song that's playing?
They are listening to Living in a Box by the band Living in a Box. That is a British band. The song was released 23 March 1987.
Okay.
This is a hot new track that they're listening to on the radio.
Now, before we go to the cemetery, we are treated to all these ding dongs instead of going to their own sector, all went to the same place and are now at Robby's, Teela, Man at Arms, and when they find out Gwildor over in the corner, and they are going to they're hungry. Basically, we're getting some background on Man at Arms. He's always hungry.
I think it's funny that both like He-Man and Teela stuck to patrolling their sectors. Man at Arms and Gwildor smelled ribs and came running, even though apparently they're vegetarians on Eternia.
Oh yeah, they live an enlightened space life.
I mean, that's what happens when half of the creatures on your planet can talk.
Yeah.
And like transform into battle cats when you call upon the power
you don't
of
get
Grace.
to just eat beast men.
Yeah. Cut me off some of that stinkor. Oh, it's the good stuff. Yeah, I think Man at Arms is just, it's so funny because he's very much like, oh yeah, this is chicken. This is good stuff. You know,
I don't
and
think he knows
said
it's chicken. He doesn't know it's chicken because they don't have chickens, but
well,
he
he
doesn't
says,
care.
like, yeah, he
It's very
says
good.
never think while you're hungry. So it's kind of like, don't be around Man at Arms if he's hungry because he might just start gnawing on you.
All right.
I'm sorry, but no civilized world would not have eaten animals at some point to move their evolution along. Meat is what literally gave us big brains. So it's ridiculous that okay, maybe Teela is vegetarian, but Gwildor and Man at Arms don't seem to give a shit at all.
Right.
No, Gwildor
She's-
seems
I mean-
pretty turned off to it after he realizes what it is.
Teela's been here in LA for what? An hour and she's already a vegetarian. It's so annoying. I hate it when people just turn and change when they go to LA.
Yeah.
So when Teela spots Gwildor in the bushes, she points in that general direction. And of course, Man at Arms is looking at this couple who in broad daylight are making out in their convertible.
Well, they got to get it
California.
on before they eat their chicken and their ribs because no one's no one. Can you imagine eating chicken and ribs and then wanting to make out with somebody? It's just you're kind of no, thank you, no, thank you.
Saucy!
Oh, that's just hungry Skeletor. It's a different Skeletor.
And it's at this moment where I realize we have our creepiest line of the week.
Okay,
If you are a father, you don't pull your daughter aside and point at some couple making out and be like, I was doing that before you even born.
Is,
Like,
that-
I'm
is
sure
that where
you're-
babies come from?
yes.
That's just a bit much there, Duncan.
Not the natives, father. They're in the bushes. I
I
do appreciate the return of the grappling hook. I'm not
How
quite
about the
sure if
return-
it works that way, but you know.
How about the return of Gwildor's catchphrase? He drops it twice in this. Actual, I guess he drops it 4 times in this clip. I'm going. He says that's a He-Man, and now he's like, I'm going. It's like, okay, that's Gwildor. Like that's on his card. I'm sure the little subtitle. Under
Oh,
his-
if I went and bought the toy Gwildor, it would say,
You
"I'm
push
coming,
the
I'm coming."
No, I'm going.
Oh, wait,
If
that's
I'm-
mine. By the way, that's my catchphrase. It's I'm coming, I'm coming.
Sometimes you gotta throw me a bone in the conversation, sword boys. Get it?
By the way, I used to watch when Men at Arms would plow ladies. That's my thing.
Never settle for less. That's what I told Evelyn in this here clip.
This here clip, well, he became very folksy. Folksy Skeletor is much.
Back when I was your age, I was boning farmers' daughters left and right.
Sexy Skeletor is the best.
Yeah.
So, smash cut to.
Yep. Welcome.
I'm sorry. I laughed so much during the scene. She's like, I feel like I killed him.
Yep. Welcome to the Pioneer Cemetery located at 601 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Sierra Madre, California. They are apparently very nearby the exact spot where Judith Myers' grave is located in the original Halloween.
Oh, nice.
What horrible things did the LA Police Department do to people in this cemetery? And by the way, right behind those tombstones is a boulder. Right behind that boulder is where Gwildor's puddle where he fell in. They've walked literally 12 feet. It's taken 10 minutes.
That's all, that same boulder Liam Neeson and Jessica Lange were boning on.
Yes.
Next to, that's the sex boulder. I like that we learn here that Julie's survivor's guilt is a little extreme. She's like, my parents died in this horrible plane crash. The first thing I want to do is get on the longest domestic flight out of here, just in case maybe God, like Final Destination, they missed me and now they need to catch up with me.
All right. I'm already not a fan of William and Catherine Winston because they had option one was take their daughter to the beach and spend a day at the beach. She wants to stay home because she says she wants to study, but everybody knows she wants to hang out with her boyfriend. So let's jump in a private plane and fly to Catalina Island. Yeah, her parents were rich yuppies. That's why she can just pack up and fly across the country.
I kind of wanted to say, oh, I thought she was going to blame him. She's like, I wanted to spend the day with you and have him go, in a way, it's kind of my fault. I never thought of it that way.
So this is where they stumble across one of them Japanese synthesizers. What did
They
you-
are so sad. And the second they find that fucking thing, they are so happy.
Yeah.
The tone changes. I'm like, oh my God, look at the synthesizer. My parents are dead. Never mind that. Look what I found. Space
Just
trash.
the biggest
Yeah.
smile on Courtney Cox's face. Like she is so excited to see that thing.
Like, did you know you just shot that
weeping
other
about
scene?
her dead parents.
You just saw that other scene, right? You were in it. I
Again,
feel like
this-
I killed my parents, but look at this shit I found.
I see this crater this thing made, and I'm wondering how it's still functional at all. But also I'm thinking, God, if He-Man and crew landed here, like the Gravedigger could have been like, oh, and they just kind of pushed the dirt over them. Like, well, I guess they're here. But I don't care what anybody says. The Cosmic Key got some guff last. Bill Conti and the Cosmic Key got some guff in the last cut. I want to go on record and say this key makes the coolest sounds.
Oh my God.
Every time it fires up.
All it hits is power metal chords. It's like,
Yep.
wow. And you're like,
There's
fuck
no
yeah.
wrong way to play this thing.
No.
It is literally idiot proof.
It's that thing that Jack Black on all the TikToks plays, that saxophone, that stupid
Right.
saxophone he plays that sounds cool as shit. It's the kid's toy saxophone. It like there's no bad way to play it. You can't screw it up.
Yeah,
this
that's why
thing-
Kevin is
no.
like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, motherfucker, and then he just goes right
Yep.
into it.
So they play.
By
they-
the way, that's Torktum-proof. I wanted to just kind of
okay, thank you.
thank you.
Your
Gotta
word,
kinda-
you
trying to
he's-
learn the language.
Well, yeah, they're no Werbats. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
So they play a few songs on it, and now they've completely forgotten about the dead parents. Fantastic. That was a bummer anyway. And then we're back to Eternia and an amazing Cape sweep with Skeletor
Yes.
eating up scenery. He looks bored, which is fantastic. I love bored Skeletor almost as much as I love sexy Skeletor. I'm waiting for some holes to fill.
Yeah, I was kind of hinting at it earlier, but I love that Skeletor is just like he doesn't want to settle for less. And when she's like, yeah, we're trying to lock in, and he's like, that's not good enough, Evelyn. Never settle for less. You are too easily pleased, Evelyn. Like that is your character flaw right there, Evelyn, and that's why I'm always going to be the boss here because even if every bad news I get, I just keep yelling at them for more.
Yep. So
Find them.
Evelyn walks in. She's like, "Oh, we found the cosmic key. We have a bearing." And he's like, "Well, how accurate is the bearing?" And she says, "Within a parsec eon." For people who are not familiar with parsecs, it's approximately equal to 3.26 light years. So it's a really broad unit of measure. And an eon, that's the thing that we talk about, like roughly 1 billion years. So, somewhere within 3.25 light years along the span of 1 billion years, that's a pretty broad range to narrow yourself down to.
Oh, that's our next shirt. It should be Skeletor was right. Because Skeletor's right. She is easily pleased.
Mhm.
I guess that bodes well for sexy Skeletor.
Yes, I'd get merchandise, motherfuckers.
What would
No,
happen if
in regards to his relationship with Evil Lynn,
Oh, never mind.
she has really
Yes,
low
I-
standards.
You're easily pleased. That way I don't have to spend too much time down there, if you know what I mean.
Well, I can't. I don't have a nose. It's kind of a weird. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like trust me.
Wildo, how did you get your nose?
Yes, I too have gill slits.
Don't ask me where, but I will show you.
I will show you. Consent first, and they go to the enchantment.
How easy is it to get Skeletor's consent? I'm just asking.
It's pretty easy.
I'm down to clown.
I love that they go to the enchantment under the sea dance.
Yeah.
They're at the.
Yeah, this is the. That's what I was like. Is Kevin's band called Around the World Fantasy, which is the banner above the stage?
Oh
or
no,
is
that
it
is the theme
Illusions?
of the dance.
Illusions. It must be Kevin's band, as in like this band doesn't really exist.
Yeah, so
But, yeah.
This
I don't
school is the
Oh, yeah.
Mark Twain Middle School located at 2224 Walgrove Avenue in Los Angeles. This school was also used for the movie Slumber Party Massacre.
I thought it looked
Nice.
familiar.
I'm actually recording from the gymnasium, so It's actually strange that it's still decorated like this. It's a recurring theme.
Well, they
They
use it
love
every
the
year
around
because
the
they
world
they already
fans.
have they pick up the cosmic key again, and they're really he wants to amp it up. I don't know why putting it in front of a microphone makes that amp up, but
More
he
like
hit
lay the microphone on the stage next to him as he's holding it in his hands.
Yeah, there's no way that cosmic key just happens to have the right sort of port for
Ex-
them to plug one of their
I
regular
was
speaker
waiting for
cables
it to-
into.
I
like
was
a little
waiting for
XLR port.
Yeah.
Port. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really upset that we don't get to see the Illusions perform because I want like Michael J. Fox to show up and start playing some like
Like the pinheads.
really awful
Yeah.
like Limp Bizkit butt metal, and then be like, "Well, you guys aren't ready for that, but your kids are gonna hate it."
They play the cosmic key. It opens up and unfurls. It cosmics, whatever it does, whatever you want to call that, and then it does a
Loots
little
out.
light show. It farts out a little space butthole, which I can't tell if you can go through it or if that's just like the beginning.
I wonder where this movie would go if all of a sudden Julie and Kevin got transported to Skeletor's throne room immediately without meeting up with the rest of the He-Man group.
We don't have that much budget.
Yeah.
They need to stay within the municipal area of Los Angeles. So they some robot man, some pale robot man in a floating chair thing.
Yeah.
Some sort of weird cherry picker.
Some sort of Harkonnen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is very hard. Conan. Travis, you might want to look that up.
So they have figured out exactly from Google Maps where they are. They're in a school. They don't know what that is because they're not attorney. They don't have schools. Evelyn has assembled a group of mercenaries because Skeletor thought it was going to be a trap. So she's like, I'm going to get you a bunch of mercenaries. And I was like, but doesn't he already know these people? Like they work for him.
Oh yeah.
But
What was
anyway.
really fun was the one officer in the background who leaned over to his buddy and was like, "Bounty hunters, we don't need them."
Yep.
Is that a deck officer?
It's
But,
literally the exact same thing. It's the exact same scene from Star Wars. It's I'm going to walk past 4 guys and tell them no disintegrations and that I want them alive.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is. And we meet the 4 and there's I think we all can agree that our personal favorite is Blade.
Oh,
Blade, yeah.
absolutely.
One, he looks cool as shit.
Yeah. He's got blades.
He's the only sword boy we know of in the movie so far, other than He-Man, who has not pulled out that sword yet, except at the beginning when he was using it to block stuff. I don't remember if he even hit anybody with it. Truthfully, I can't remember.
No, I think he deflected blasters.
But this Blade is a character, sort of, from the He-Man.
It's a daywalker.
Yeah. He has a robot eye and cool little fins.
He's human Trapjaw because he's got the jaw plate here as well.
I really like his costume. Who's this actor? Anybody we
Anthony
know?
DeLongis. He's the one who choreographed the fight scene that we're going to see in cut 3 and also the fight scene that we're going to see eventually in cut 6.
Awesome.
He's
Fantastic.
one of the bad guys in Roadhouse. Of course he knows what he's doing.
Which one's he in Roadhouse?
He played Ketchum.
Sure.
Which, I looked up a picture of him and I was like, oh yeah, that guy. He's like one of the main bad guys, but not the main bad guy.
There's Saurod, who has some pretty impressive. He's a pretty impressive design. He's got this cool little neck sack that undulates. He's a snake man.
Full on snake man. And he's got like these little venomous barbs that come out of his face. So
like Don Rickles.
Saurod got an action figure out of this movie. He is one of the original characters made for the movie specifically. He's meant to shoot like lasers out of his face, even though that's not a thing that he does here in the movie.
Why would you create new characters?
I don't get it.
The show is literally full of all these. Who would you pick? Who are the bad guys from He-Man? I mean, we got Beastman. Classic. Who else is there? Who else is a bad guy? Is Ram Man a bad guy? I don't even remember anymore. I had Ram Man and I couldn't tell you.
I thought he was on the good guy side.
He may be.
But
what were all their names? There was Trapjaw.
We got
Cobra
Hordak.
Khan, because Cobra Khan is kind of what they're going for with Sauropod or what the hell his name is. Beastman, Merman. Why do we not
Merman.
get a merman? And instead we get that horrible troll doll with white hair.
Yeah, we'll get to Karg.
Karg.
Yeah.
Maybe-
So Sorod is portrayed by Pons Mar, who also
Yes.
played the lead Wheeler in Return to Oz.
Okay.
So
Oh,
he's
I thought
back
he
to
looked
scar
familiar.
your childhood.
He was
Well,
also the voice of the Noid.
Oh, really?
Make sure we avoid that one.
And his name is Pons Mar,
May-
not Ponfar.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to correct me to say it's pronounced Mayar. I
Every
don't
7
know.
years he gets super horny.
Mayor.
Yep, so,
Mayor.
So after Sorod, we've got the introduction of this version of Beastman, played by
Yes.
Tony Carroll.
They
He's
call
not
him
Beast
the
Man.
Beast Man.
He's the Beast Man. Is that how to get around licensing? Like, no. This is
They
the
have
Beast
the
Man.
license. They have the license. It doesn't make any sense. He looks kind of like he looks as close to the toy, so it's good enough.
There's weird agreements between different companies. Like James Bond had to deal with that with.
Oh,
you know,
well, yeah, that's
Spectre.
different. Yeah.
And what was Mark
Uh,
Singer doing in 1987 that he couldn't
Be in this movie.
be in this movie?
What would he
Like,
be?
We've
Would he
got a
be
character
He-Man?
literally
V?
called Beast Man, and he
I don't think-
was
I don't-
Beast Master.
He's not
I was about to say, he's not
Beast Man,
buff
he's
enough.
the Beastmaster.
Let's see.
And-
87. Oh, he did one episode of Hotel. That's not
Okay, good
enough
for
to
him.
keep you too busy to be in this movie. I guess he
And-
was busy on Dallas in
Sure.
1986.
And then our least favorite character, maybe
Ugh.
Karg.
Oh,
Karg.
So there is a character in the Filmation TV show named Karg, but that character is a pink horned dragon-like creature that belongs to Azrog and serves as his pet and or familiar.
Sure.
The
Karg
version
is
of Karg in
played
this
by-
movie is completely fabricated for the movie, though.
It's got a
He was
great
played
do.
by Robert Towers and never got an action figure.
I wonder why. Maybe because he sucks.
Uh,
And he's in charge kind of the mercenaries.
Yeah.
He's kind of their leader.
he played old/young Benjamin Button. Perhaps the model they drew Brad Pitt's CGI onto.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
like
so
that
he's like-
small.
Okay, gotcha.
He played a Ferengi on TNG.
Okay.
Speaking of TNG, I was surprised you did. Like, I left Robert Duncan McNeil all open for you to mention where you know him from, because I never watched the show. But
Robert Duncan McNeil. It was an actor in the he did little things. He was he played two characters on Star Trek. He played Nick Locarno. I'm not looking at notes. Nick Locarno from the Next Generation. He is the commanding officer of Wesley Crusher when he's in the Starfleet, and they accidentally kill a kid who's in their flight group.
Mm.
They try and cover it up. Nick Locarno takes the hit.
yeah.
Takes the hit. Later on, when Voyager came out, created a new character for him. And it's funny because his father, in the episode, in the pilot, his father is an admiral and has a picture of Nick Locarno from the TNG on his desk, which is funny because that's his, because it was him probably, 4 or 5 years younger, which is funny.
Right.
So they had him in that, but he played Tom Paris on Voyager for all 7 seasons. And he's done a bunch of stuff. Like, he was an actor for a little while, and he does some roles, but he's mostly known as a director and as a producer. Super big producer now, has done a ton of shows you've seen. He most recently Resident Alien. He is the producer of
yeah.
Resident Alien. He produced that weird Turner and Hooch TV show. He did Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, The Gifted, The Arrangement.
He's still
Chuck.
not reading from notes.
Chuck. No, I know these. Chuck. His biggest one. He was a executive producer on Chuck. So, and he's
Oh,
been
wow.
a director. He's been a director for years. It's funny. He and his TV wife in the show, Belana Torres and Tom Paris, get married in Voyager. And his
Spoilers.
oh, sorry, if you've never seen a 20-year-old show.
We'll always have
but-
Tom Paris.
But Roxanne Dawson also she's a huge director now. She did Foundation, anything out there. She does a lot of
Right, yeah.
sci-fi. She's kind of gone the way Jonathan Frakes from the Next Generation kind of paved the way for all these actors to kind of become directors. And both of them are, really good directors now. He doesn't act that much. He does a podcast with a guy from the Voyager. So they do a podcast together and they talk about and rewatch Voyager and then just talk about it. He and Garrett Wang, who was one of the other characters on Voyager. And goes to Comic-Cons, is super popular. People love him. He's really funny. But yeah, he's a great guy. I have nothing bad to say about the actor.
I saw in his credits that he voiced both Star Trek characters on Lower Decks.
Yes, because he was Nick
Which is
Lacano
cool.
also, because they came back and did kind of a story of what happened to that character on Lower Decks, which was fun. Because you don't have to, the Lower Decks allows you to basically, you can be an aged old man. It doesn't matter, but you can play a much younger character. So yeah, cool guy. I'm a big fan of his. So happy that he's in this movie. I mean, I didn't know who he was when this movie came out. No one did. So
He was a young man.
so they're going to say goodbye to this place. She's leaving after graduation. And they're going to do something. So I almost called him Nick Locarno. Kevin leaves and she gets sad again. She looks at the locket around her neck that has her parents' pictures in it.
Yep.
And that's when the space butthole opens.
Right.
Yep, he's gonna go visit Charlie for no more than 15 minutes, and then, like you said, space butthole opens. Bunch of guys come out, and it causes enough of a commotion that Carl, the janitor, comes out of his office. He's like, "Hey, these damn kids making these noises. You can't be back here." He gets his shit wrecked.
I absolutely love the way they come out of the space butthole. They all come out sideways, like they're in a play, like almost like off of stage right. They've just said, just jump out sideways. And they all kind of like each one of them jumps out of it. Like, wouldn't you come forward? Why would you come through it sideways? It's weird that you would sashay through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a coach, honestly, because he's wearing like a varsity jacket of some sort. Why does he think that they're high school kids?
Oh yeah, Beast Man. I had you in 7th period French.
I said, you kids can't.
Listen, some kids are real hairy.
No, he's a janitor. You can tell because he has a mop.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he probably went to the school.
Oh,
it's a small town. This is the town of LA. It's a small town of LA.
Right.
So he's, this is the best he could do. And now they're shooting up all the prom stuff, trying to kill Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
All that
blowing up the pyramid cutout that they've built. I really feel bad for the student activities committee that I'm sure spent hours and hours putting all this stuff together.
Yeah.
We do get good now views of all the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Blade's costume is badass. I kind of want to build it now.
It's so shiny.
And he's wearing the metal, the chainmail of what's his face from what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Commando? He's kind of dressed like the other guy. What was his name?
Are you saying that Blade needs to let off some steam, Bennett?
Yes. Yeah, he's
Bennett.
Bennett.
That's right.
It's like kind of some ill-fitting, some sort of dress made of chainmail. It's very cool. And let's be honest, Beastman just looks like a Bigfoot in armor. There's not much to his costume. And then Sauropod, or whatever the fuck his name is his costume is cool as hell. And then of course Karg, who just looks like a insane child.
Beastman is having a real hard time keeping his sword like contained. It's flopping all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like every time he moves around, it's just not hanging in the right spot. It's getting in the way. He should have
it unsheathed by now. He should just do that. Although he does have a lot of problems with tinsel, so maybe he just has issues.
He can't really move his face real well either.
No,
yeah,
it's not a great costume.
It's especially unfortunate in the fact that Julie throws a whole gallon of ammonia straight in his face.
Oh,
and it's so weird that he's from another planet, but ammonia still affects him. Okay.
Hey, listen, ammonia is no joke. If you get ammonia anywhere around your eyes, you need to wash that out immediately because it can cause ulceration and perforation of the cornea. That can occur like weeks or months after exposure. You want to get that stuff out because it will blind you.
Well, luckily they're in a high school, so if they just run to the chemistry room, there's always that eye washing unit you can stick your eyes in. I like that the first thing that Karg says is, we need her alive, and then they immediately try and kill her like 3 times. Blade sticks his swords through the deck of the thing, I guess to stop her, but it could have easily killed her.
Yeah.
Didn't
Same
do
with
that.
his arm-mounted crossbow launcher.
He has a cool little thing that he shoots out like 3 darts.
Mhm.
Were those to stun her, Blade?
I also I'm again nervous about the upcoming dance, the upcoming prom, whatever they're having there, because if this whole debacle
Oh man.
ruins the electricity, the lights will be out, and next thing you know, they'll be dancing in the dark.
I like that you actually stopped talking because you knew the joke was so bad. But
No, I knew, but I was pausing for laughter, like that expectant laughter.
Pre-laughter?
Oh, here
Yeah.
it comes.
Okay.
That's how jokes work.
Lights up.
People always laugh before the punchline.
And in
Yeah.
1987, this was for some people, this is their life. Like their prom night's like the biggest night of their life.
Yeah, this school. Okay, first and foremost, Kevin's band is like ruined. They cannot replace all. This is
Kevin's band. I've still not seen a person yet from this band, so I don't know that it's real yet.
thousands of dollars worth of equipment in 1987.
Yeah.
And it's all going up in smoke, to say nothing of the damage to the school. Like the district that the school is a part of is going to have to pony up the money to replace this gymnasium, because the insurance money is not going to cover near as much as they should. So no one is coming out on top in this. The Skeletor's mercenaries are not capturing their quarry. The school is out at gymnasium. The band is out a bunch of equipment. It's just a real shit show from top to bottom.
Well, they could all just hustle over the enchantment under the sea dance, and if they go through the space butthole, they'll go back to 55. It'll be a whole crossover.
Now I need to go find out what other movies had they could go to Teen Wolf's high school. I'm trying to think of like time appropriate, like who else is doing it, having their high school graduation around this time.
There's nothing in the rule book that says, Teen Wolf can't play basketball.
Yeah. I think Teen Wolf's dad is in this movie, the Beast Man. I think that was his day job. He's
yeah.
But as sad as that is, then we go to a riveting scene of them running around, and I guess, what is this place?
What school doesn't have a weird junkyard just, a block away?
And a pizza place just down the road.
Right.
With a sign that just says pizza. I was looking at this and I was like, this gives me Steam Factory vibes from Highlander. It's just like, there's just a big room of trash. It's just a big outdoor. Yeah, it's a junkyard, but it's not a junkyard. It's like full of pallets and construction items. And then we get to hear the greatest thing ever, Blade using his blade on the chain link fence. And when he does it, he goes, yeah, every time.
Cuts through it like tissue paper. I love it.
But he yells, yeah, and it's very disconcerting.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, every time he uses the sword, which makes me laugh. I'm sure it's supposed to be, like it's supposed to be like he's hitting it, but it sounds like he's saying, yeah. And then Julie loses her goddamn mind again and kind of racially profiles him. And she's like, oh, it's a white guy. I'm safe. Because at first she's freaked out by him. He's like, I'm not going to hurt you. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, every time you're running through an alleyway from, Beastmen and Sword Boys or whatever, if you run into a caped half-nude man in an alleyway who just picks you up and takes you away, I'll take care of it.
He picks you up, carries you somewhere safe, and then hands you a gun saying, good luck.
Yeah, protect yourself.
This happens to me all the time. I've always wanted to. I really wish someone would do this with more people. When they get really hysterical, you just pick them up like a baby and carry them away.
I'll take care of this.
I'll just take care of this.
She's especially upset. She's sitting there thinking about how no one told her life was going to be this way.
There you go.
Oh, wait, you didn't pause. You didn't do the pause.
Her job's a joke.
She's broke. Well, no, she's probably not broke. Her parents' house is actively for sale. She's going to have some money.
She has
my
money.
sex life steal away. Wait. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
It hasn't been your day, your month, your week, or even your chromon or whatever they're called. A parsec eon.
Never settle for less.
It's been quite a dry spell.
Good journey.
So
So I think we're in a pre-fight here, guys. I think our next cut's gonna have a fight. What do you think?
Yeah, we are gearing up for some actual sword on sword contact. We're
such a
finally going to be
tease
able to
to-
do a sword fight breakdown.
That would
such
be
a
nice.
tease to end right here. It really is.
It really is. This cut is anticlimactic, but we do get some good shots of all the guys in there again in these amazing suits. Is this a Is this a Winston creatures effects? Who did the creatures?
I think Egon. was-
Egon did the creatures. Just one word, like Beyonce.
You said Winston. I don't know.
Yes, I'm
These
thinking
are-
of these are the jokes. Well, these are the ones that are coming off the cuff. You didn't write that one down, right?
Yeah. No. What are we looking for? The costume design or
Creature
costume
design,
or-
not
Creature.
costume, but like creature effects. Like who made the suits with all the stuff?
Mm,
Who made all the latex? Someone had to make
Somebody-
the rubber suit the man's wearing. Beast
Prop
Man was invented
maker.
by somebody.
there's
Sure.
co-special costume supervisor. There's wardrobe production assistant. There's costume construction.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So lots of really nice costumes. Whoever invented them.
Mm.
So this is the end. This is the end of this cut. What do we think so far? I'm actually for nothing really happening. I'm actually okay with this. This wasn't that boring. It was actually pretty interesting, even though not much happens.
You know, as disappointed as I was for us to leave Eternity, or as disappointed as I was for us to leave Eternia, I am glad that Eternia is coming to us instead of us having to go to them. So
Mhm.
that's kind of fun. You know,
There's a lot more to look at here in LA than there is in the dusty desert of Eternia. All the vegetation that they have there.
plenty to see in this junkyard. So make sure you come back because next time, He-Man uses the power sword to defend Julie from Skeletor's mercenaries, then takes a moment to explain that she's in the middle of a Masters of the Universe movie. Nearby, Kevin tries to uncover the secrets of the cosmic key, but is sidetracked when he hears that the high school is on fire. Kevin's efforts to find Julie are hampered by Detective Lubick, who suspects Kevin of wrongdoing and drags him back to Julie's house, where he's quickly found by Evil Lynn. Ditch the hydrocarbons and load up on Lucrinos for cut 3 of Masters of the Universe.
I don't really
Looking
know where
forward to
else to. I don't know where else to end it. Yeah, good journey to all of you, and I hope everyone goes out and has some. Hey, go out and have a bucket of chicken and/or ribs.
Yeah, and just take a little side dish of sauce and just drink that straight.
Pour it
Don't
right
even-
into your beard. If you have a
Yeah.
beard, pour it right into it.
Don't even bother dipping your fried chicken or loose ribs into the sauce. Just straight back.
Also, don't take a flight to Catalina anytime soon. Just an FYI.
Man, is there some sort of weird crossover with Step Brothers where her parents were going to the Catalina wine mixer?
Hey, folks, don't be Torktums. That's what I have to say to you.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
And never settle for less.
Always get as much inside yourself as possible. Clang clang.
Good journey.
Clang.
Good journey.
Good journey.